When you're calmer, remember how your attention is more in your body. You become more present. So when you become more present, the thoughts that you're having, you're able to separate from the thought more. You're able to see the thought more. So if this is the thought, when you're not very calm, when your attention is more in your mind, you're very close to the thought. When we start to move towards presence, right, by becoming more calmer, our attention comes here in the present moment. We start to separate from this thought more. So the distance between here is what we call the space between me, the awareness, and the thought that I'm having. So the more space I create, the less impactful or controlling this thought, this idea is. So this happens when we are doing the practice, when we're becoming more calm, when we learn how to take the attention here in the present moment. We create this space. So now this space is required if we want to be able to identify ego that comes up. Because ego that comes up, all ego is just when the mind is active and we are thinking about ourselves. So if I focus on this phone, then my attention is on this phone. My attention is not on myself. But if I have this phone in front of me and then I think about myself, or I become aware of myself looking at this phone, then now what happened is this phone is the action. I want to do something on this phone, and I become aware of myself looking at this phone or working on this phone. This awareness of self is very subtle. The only way to notice this creeping up is to create a lot of space between your thoughts or your mind activity and yourself or your awareness. Once we create enough space, now we can see something come up and we can see something come down. If it's like this, you can't tell that something creeped up. It's too close. And if you can't tell that you are thinking about yourself, then you can't stop it because you don't even know that it's happening. When you are thinking about yourself, there are different levels of thinking. If you are verbally in your mind going, I like this phone, or I'm going to do this and this and this and this, then in my mind, having this mental dialogue of that, then this is what we call conscious mind, or I am consciously thinking about myself. If I look at this phone and I am aware of myself looking at this phone, then I am using my subconscious mind, and I am thinking about myself with my subconscious mind, which we call awareness, knowingness, being conscious of, intuition. There's no dialogue, no sound in our mind, but we are still thinking.